Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And it's snowing outside and I'm filming a video about the things that I love, and snow is one of them. Not on this list, but just one of them, and it's just lovely. And I've got a cup of tea, and I've got me. This is probably one of my favourite Christmas jumpers. I bought this many years ago from Primark, many years, and it's, truth be told, it's a bit too small for me, but I just like it so much. It's got like a really like retro snow scene on it, and it's sweater material, although the sleeves are a bit wet where I've just done the washing up. Sad, but happy because of snow. So today I'm filming a video which I filmed last year, also inspired by a tag that was going around last year. To do with Thanksgiving, so people were filming videos about what they were thankful for, and I watched a few of these videos. One that stood out to me as being Joss's from Scribbles Reads, and really loved watching them. And I thought that I would last year thought I would do a video similar. Sorry, I'm just out staring at the snow. I thought I would do a similar video where I talked about things that I loved. I loved filming that video last year, and I've watched it back now just to check that none of the things that I loved last year are the same things that I love this year. And it just fills me with so much love and niceness. It's just so happy, and just reminding myself of things that I love was just lovely. So last year I picked 20 things that I love. This year I've got 24, and I thought, well, 24 is a day, one for each day of Vlogmas, and it's just a chance for me to talk about things in my life that I love and make me happy. So I really like doing this. I would encourage any of you guys to do this, even if you don't like, even just making a list of things that you love, random things that you love. I was just so happy when I was doing this. So yeah, they're in no particular order. I was thinking, oh, shall I group them together, like if it's food, or, and I thought, no, I'm just going to go with it. And I was just, as I wrote them down, I'm just going to explain them like that. So yeah, might be a bit of a long rambly one, but it's going to be nice because it's going to be talking about things that I love. So the first thing that I love is the time between Christmas and New Year. So I always try to get the time between Christmas and New Year off of work. I love the sort of like sense of, oh, I don't really know what day it is. Oh, it's the day after Boxing Day. It's the day before New Year's Eve, etc. And I love that feeling of sort of having all this time. Although we always have busy days and people to visit and things like that. David and I always make sure that we have one day where we literally just sit on the sofa, eat leftover food, watch any DVDs we've got, wear new pyjamas that we got for Christmas, and just have a complete chill out. And something else we did last year, which I really loved and appreciated, was because we didn't really have anything to be up for, we made sure we went to bed after midnight every night, and we played backgammon till night and watched films and read by the light of the Christmas tree, and it was just gorgeous. And I I love Christmas and Boxing Day and that, but those days in between are so precious to me, and they're just a really good chance to recharge my batteries, so I love them. The next thing I want to talk about, the next thing I love is, so I put down originally new notepads. So I feel so excited when I get a new notepad and I see like all these pages that I can fill up with stuff. It makes me feel really happy. And I was thinking further about it, and I was thinking, and I also love it when notepads are used up and like both sides of the papers have been written on, and the biro, because I always write in biro, the biro's really indented, and it all just feels so like used and worn, and the size of the pad almost doubles because all the writing has made the pages go a bit bigger. And yeah, I just love, I think generally as a rule, notepads. The next thing is David's new job. So David got a new job this year. David had been working at the school that he went to school at in total he'd been at school and working at that school for almost 20 years, and he got a new job this year working for cancer research, doing audiovisual work. And David's always been a really happy chappy anyway, and he's always so positive and wonderful. But the change in him since he's found a job that he absolutely adores has been wonderful, and I'm just so thrilled for him. Like he was working as an IT technician at a school. And whilst he was sort of like going by, he didn't hate his job by any means, but it wasn't getting the most out of him, and he had such a lot to give, and he was just sort of felt, I guess he probably didn't even realise, but he felt that he was just sort of like plodding by, and now he's got this job which he's loving, and he's learning new things every day, and he's he's getting opportunities that he never would have got before, and like going to events and things like that. the change in him is just amazing, and seeing his face light up when he talks about work, and him coming home, we never ever spoke about work, so for him to say, oh, and this happened and I'm going to do this, and they said that they were really pleased with me for doing this. It's just been such a delight to see him starting this new job in August and just like growing and growing and growing and having a lovely, lovely time. And he rings me every day, so he works until 4, and he rings me every day at about 4:10 to say that he's walking to the bus stop. And it's so lovely every day to get that phone call from him and just to hear how happy he is and how much he's had a good day. And yeah, I'm just so pleased for him. I'm so thrilled for him that he got a new job and that he's just been absolutely thriving in it, because he completely deserves it. And I'm just delighted for it. So yeah, that makes me smile every time I talk about it. Like, even when I'm with him and people say, oh, how's work? And he's like, yeah, it's really good. Like, I feel myself smiling too, because I'm so happy for him. The next thing is, when I'm on the train, I love to look into other people's houses. It's a very nosy thing, but I also just like the sort of notion, I guess, or the idea of just seeing a little snapshot of someone's life. So as you're whipping past people's houses, if they've got lights on, you see someone cooking dinner, or someone watching telly, or someone reading a book, and I just think, oh, I just love seeing in people's houses, and just the little snippet you get. I suppose it's very reminiscent of Girl on the Train, but yeah, in a less creepy way. I just like to see little snippets of people's lives. The next thing was sparkly stuff. I love sparkly stuff. And it always comes out. I'm always reminded this time of year how much I love sparkly stuff, whether it be sparkly shoes, sparkly jumpers, sparkly notepads, sparkly pen. I'm like a magpie. Like, I really, really feel like an affinity with sparkly stuff. And when I see something sparkly, I think, I must have that. I must have that sparkly item. And yeah, I just love sparkly stuff. The next thing is Molly, my goddaughter. So my friend Jenny has a daughter called Molly, who is 2.5 years old, and she is my goddaughter. Jenny was kind enough to ask me to be her godmother, and she is just a babe. Like, I've always adored her, but this year, as she gets a bit older and she's growing like a little personality, and she's got things she likes and dislikes, and things she finds funny and things she doesn't like, and I just really love spending time with her, and I just feel like she's such a bright little character. She's so clever, and she like smashes through puzzles so quickly, and I just love watching her and just seeing her grow into this little person who didn't used to exist. Like, it's so mad. And I remember seeing, when going around Jenny's house, on the fridge there was letters that had Molly's name on it, and I was like, isn't it weird that Molly never used to exist and now she's here, and it's just so weird. And she's adorable and fun and strong and clever and amazing, and I just know she's going to be this amazing person. But at the moment, she's just such a joy to spend time with, and she's always so excited to see me, which is lovely. And I just feel like she's a real testament to like how well Jenny and Tom have done with bringing her up. She's just an adorable girl, and I'm just so fond of her. So yeah, that's another thing I love. Something I've discovered this year, which I feel I also have been loving, is the power of saying no. So I've always described myself as a bit of a yes girl, whether it be at work, just saying, yeah, I'll do that, whether saying to my friends, yeah, I'll meet you here, or yeah, I'll do that. And often I found I was spreading myself a bit too thin, or like just saying yes to everything and not being able to give like a massive big commitment to one thing, and also saying yes to things that I didn't particularly want to do, whether it be social engagements and things like that. And this year I've taught myself to say no, and I feel like it's a really important lesson. Like, I'm a very positive person anyway, but I feel like I needed to start saying no to things. So the best example I can think of this, and I put about this on Twitter not long ago, was recently it was my work Christmas do. And previously I would have said yes and forced myself along and not enjoyed myself. I don't like going out. I don't drink alcohol anyway. And these sort of situations where other people drinking alcohol, which is completely fine, like other people can do what they want, but like when you're like the only person there not drinking alcohol and everything is funny to everyone else but not to you, and I'm not a big fan of going out in big groups anyway. And when I was asked this year if I wanted to go, I just said, no, I don't want to go. And people were saying, oh, are you busy, or things like that. And I was like, no, it's not that. I just don't want to go. And on the night of the Christmas meal, when everyone was going out, I thought to myself, would you feel like you'll feel guilty? And I didn't. I felt fantastic. I felt fantastic that I'd found the strength within myself to say, no, I don't want to go. I don't really enjoy things like that. And I just felt wonderful. And I just really need to learn from that it's okay to say no to certain things and to sort of just to give yourself a bit of time to yourself and things like that. So that's something I've learned this year, and something that I've been loving is the power of saying no. Another thing I love is soup. I really like soup, and I also find the making of soup very therapeutic and enjoyable. So when I was younger and living at my parents' house, I used to have a soup club with my friend James, who used to come round every Wednesday night, and we used to have soup. And I'd sort of not made soups for a long, long time. Now, becoming a vegetarian has meant that I've been eating a lot more soups, and it's just so enjoyable, particularly in this cold weather, to sort of think you've got this big pan of stuff, and there's not much washing up afterwards because it's mainly a big pan and bowls and knives. So you just chop things, put it in there, blitz it up or leave it as it is. And yeah, I just find it really therapeutic to sort of follow a list of things. So basically, soup recipes, what you need in the recipe is basically chopped up and put in the soup. There's not much more to it than that. And I just find it an opportunity to switch off, or to listen to an audiobook, or to watch some YouTube, or to listen to some music. And I really, really like making soup. David, however, does not think that soup is a dinner. I think that soup is a dinner. Got a Christmas mug. A lovely cup of tea, nice. The next thing I love is flowers in jam jars. So I really love getting flowers, and in the winter it doesn't seem to happen so much because there's not many flowers around, but to get flowers and then to put them in a simple jam jar really does make me happy. And I feel like seeing them in big vases and things like that is also lovely. But I've been collecting jam jars, big ones that have had pickles in, big ones that have had beetroot in, and I love seeing flowers in jam jars. I just think they look so simple and cutesy and nice. Next one is multiple blankets. Not just one blanket, multiple blankets. So at the moment, as it's Christmas and we're decorated Christmassy, there are 4 blankets up for grabs in our lounge area. We have 3 on the sofa and 1 here, and they are all sort of part of the decoration, but also very much part of the snuggliness. And there is nothing nicer than to get your bottom half under a blanket and then wrap another blanket around your top half. Very, very enjoyable, very, very nice multiple blanket action. The next thing is projects, targets and resolutions. Whether or not I complete them or not, I don't mind, but I just love setting myself projects, targets and resolutions, particularly at this time of year when it's the new year. I'm really into January, although like it's not the funnest month of the year, but I really like beginning new targets and resolutions and things that I've set myself, and I really love the beginning of that. I don't care so much if I actually complete them. I don't beat myself up over things like that, but I really do enjoy the act of sort of like making a list of things that you want to do in the new year, and I feel like bullet journaling is going to carry that throughout the year for me next year. I'm very, very much looking forward to getting into some bullet journaling. Chamomile tea. So last year tea featured on my things that I love. This year chamomile tea. I've discovered chamomile tea. I never thought I liked it. It is like an anaesthetic for me. I have a cup of chamomile tea. It's got to be like the actual chamomile flowers. So Tea Pigs have got it. Bluebird tea, and there's another brand who I can't think of. I think it's just maybe a Sainsbury's own one, like a Sainsbury's. But the actual tiny little flowers within the bags, they send me into the deepest, most gorgeous sleep after I've got about 40 minutes. So what I have been doing is, and this sort of links in, the next one is also something, so I could just talk about this all together. So I've been doing my skincare regime. So this is number 13 on the list, is my skincare regime. I've been taking my makeup off with micellar water, then putting Ultra Bland on, which is a oil cleanser from Lush, then washing that off with a hot flannel, which is just luxurious, then putting on my spot treatment, and then putting a night cream on. Once I finish that, I make myself a cup of chamomile tea, I drink that, and then I've got about 40 minutes from the last sip to when I need to be in bed because I'm going to fall asleep. So that as a nighttime regime has just been very like mindful and like preparing myself for bed, and it's just been lovely. It's just been working really, really well for me. So those 2 things bundled together there. And the next thing is also slightly related because it's to do with bed. And around this time, David and I always have our Christmas duvet cover and our Christmas sheets on and things like that. We've got 3 sets now that we have in a bit of a rotation. And 2 of those sets are made out of brushed cotton. So they're like almost fleecy and warm, and they're just so warming and comforting when you've got that over you, and it's just lovely. The next thing I enjoy is an open window. Now this is all times of the year. Now I obviously want to stay warm, but I love an open window, particularly when the air's really like clean and you're like, and it just makes the house, like, it just blows the sort of cobwebs out of the house. And it's, especially if I'm like cleaning, like that happens often, but if we're like doing a bit of cleaning and things like that, to open the windows and just sort of let the air out and then get some new lot in. I just really enjoy an open window, and I have my window open at work quite a lot as well, because I feel like fresh air keeps me alert and keeps me working. The next thing I like is Minnie's purring. Minnie's there now. Hey Minnie, that's me, ready to watch the next episode of The Crown. Is Minnie's purring. So last year it was Minnie sleeping on my tum-tum and my chest, which I still adore, but recently Minnie's been purring when I've been picking her up. Now she never used to like being picked up, but now when I get home from work, she's waiting for me. I pick her up, I give her a cuddle. She stays on me for about 5 minutes, just purring, so happy to see me. And I love hearing that purr. I love when I'm stroking her throat, feeling that purr, and just knowing that I'm giving her as much happiness as she's giving me is just a complete joy. I really, really love to hear her purr. So we're down to number 17 now, guys. We're doing very well. The next thing I would talk about is, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure, reality TV. So this year I was really into I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I was really into Love Island, and I just love the sort of mindlessness of being able to watch something on reality TV, literally like slumped on the sofa, like don't really have to think about it, and you can just get on with watching it. Now it's not, I don't watch all the reality TV. There's some reality TV I would never watch, but I can't lie, because it does bring me joy. It really does bring me joy. So I had to give a sort of a bit of a nod to reality TV. Something else I've enjoyed that I've been doing this month is unpacking last year's Christmas decorations. So the past few years, David and I have been very clever and have been buying quite a lot of Christmas decorations in the sales, whether it be in December, in January, throughout the year. And we've got a storage unit where we keep our Christmas stuff. There's a hell of a lot of Christmas stuff here, and getting it out in around Christmas time, when you've bought things that you haven't even had out on display because you bought them in January or because you bought them in August because they were on sale or something, is really, really lovely. And it's almost like a bit like Christmas morning, because you're getting all this new stuff and you're like, oh my god, and remembering stuff. Some stuff I don't even remember getting. I've got plates and things here that I don't remember getting last year, and just sort of unpacking last year's Christmas decorations is just brings joy, and also just seeing new stuff. And yeah, it's a really nostalgic thing for me. I remember my dad having to get up in the loft and us all helping pull things down and things like that, and it just, the Christmas trip to the storage unit I always feel very excited about, and we always listen to Christmas songs and just have a lovely time anyway. I'm really enjoying that tea. The next thing is Marmite and crumpets. So in the same way that I was talking about how much I enjoy halloumi and sandwiches last year, I can tell you this year Marmite and crumpets has been my top meal. Now I don't work Thursday afternoons. I take Thursday afternoons off to do booktube stuff, which is lovely, and I always have a crumpet. If I'm being honest, I have two massive crumpets, you know, those big Warburtons one, and quite often they're like 50p on, so I think they're like 70p or 90p anyway, and quite often they're down to 50p, which is a bargain. And I have two of those on a Thursday afternoon, and then get on with some filming, editing, and they just scream coziness and Thursday afternoon to me, because that is my meal of Thursday afternoon. The next thing is a well-timed or well-placed nap. Now, I'm not much of a napper. If I nap, I often can't sleep at night. But if I know that I'm going to be having a late night or something, or particularly around Christmas when there are later nights, if I can get a sort of 20-minute nap in, I feel fantastic afterwards. But I don't nap all the time, because if I nap during the day, I don't sleep at night. So if I can get a really well-timed and placed nap, then that is something that I very much love. The next thing is going to lunch with my dad. So I work at a hospital, and my dad also works at that hospital. And occasionally, it doesn't happen very often, but probably like once a month, once every 6 weeks, we sort of both manage to find a bit of time where we can go to lunch together, which is really, really lovely, because we don't really spend much one-on-one time with my dad, but we always have such a nice time, and just chat and have a bit of a catch up, mainly talk about Harry Potter, and just things like that. So I always, and the reason I was thinking about it is because I went for lunch with my dad last week, and it was just really nice to have a good old chat about him. We was actually talking about, and this doesn't bring me much joy, but Johnny Depp being being kept on in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them films, and how we both feel about that. And I feel not good about that. My dad doesn't feel too great about it either. And sort of trying to make the decision. My dad will go and see the film, but like me trying to decide whether or not I want to go and see the film. So it was nice it was like a really good, like, we were sort of sounding off each other, and it was very enjoyable. So yeah, going for lunch with my dad is something I also love. The next thing, so we're down to the last three things. The next thing is the clear night sky. So if there is a clear night and you can look up and see some stars, that is wonderful. Now, my parents have a place in France where they holiday quite often. David and I haven't been for about 3 or 4 years. We are due a trip. But where it's sort of in the countryside, there's not much light pollution, and the night sky is clear and beautiful there. And whenever I think of clear night skies, I always think of that night sky. So if David and I do get the chance to go at some point this year, which I would love to go, then that is something I'll be looking forward to seeing. The next thing is a bit of a weird one. It's a building, and it's the St Pancras train station building. Whenever I see it, I always really, really love it. And I always think, what a gorgeous building. And yeah, I feel like that every time I see it. And when I was thinking of things I loved, that was something that came up, and I thought, yeah, definitely put that down, because if it is something you love, then let it be on there. And then the last thing is the Spice Girls. So I've always loved the Spice Girls. Geri Halliwell, for me, is one of the first woman. I'd never seen a woman like her on TV before, when or heard anyone like her on the radio before when I was younger. And she's really stayed with me, and her message, I mean, the whole group of girl power, but Geri Halliwell in particular, they just make me feel so thrilled to be a woman, and so happy to be sort of an advocate of girl power. David got me the Spice vinyl for my birthday this year, and I just listened to it on repeat, and it was very nostalgic for me, because I used to love the Spice Girls and the album when I was younger. So to listen to the album in the order that I used to listen to before Shuffle happened and things like that, I've just been really reliving how much I love the Spice Girls and how much I love their girl power message, and how wonderful they made me feel as a child, and still feeling like that now. So that is 24 things that I love. Now, I love filming this video. I've got a massive smile on my face from filming it the whole way, and I feel like I'm going to just have this smile on my face for the rest of the afternoon. So thank you so much for watching this. Would love to hear some of the things you love. I really love filming this video, and I feel like maybe I should do it more often, because Christmas is not just a time to reflect on the things you love. You should be reflecting all year. The snow is really coming down outside, and I'm going to finish this cup of tea, edit this video, and then watch another episode of The Crown. So I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I will see you all again tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Goodbye!